The one thing that happens during a spiritual awakening is that you realize there is a world that is beyond that which you can perceive with your five senses, meaning that there is existence that already exists, out of which there's a part of which that remains unknown, and there's a part of which that is known. That which is known to us is that which we're aware of, and that within which we create a manifest reality. That which is known to us is born of our thoughts, our beliefs, our experiences, our feelings, therefore creating brain maps inside of us, creating a conditioned existence, and what some of us call karma. So our karmic blueprint gives rise to all that is known and therefore becomes a known reality. And then you have the unknown reality, which is what a spiritual awakening does to make it known. How it does this is by creating a paradigm shift of consciousness. What the first thing that happens is you start to let go of density. Density comes in many forms. It manifests in the things that happen in our lives that make us feel dense, that weigh us down. In order for us to raise our vibration, we must create a lightness in being. In order for us to have a lightness in being, all density must leave us. Now, density is comprised of matter. Everything that says we are only matter. Everything that relates to sensory perception, which is the five senses. Everything that says I am the five senses and whatever my five senses perceive. So for example, if your five senses today perceive that, oh gosh, if only I could have some space to breathe, I'm always inundated, I've always got things to do, or I need this or I need that, whatever little anxiety or little dramas that we have in our life day to day, whatever it is, right? Now that is also density, that is then self-fulfilling prophecy, because it keeps repeating itself, because we say, I simply cannot cope. When we say, I simply cannot cope, everything that you'll see around you will remind you that I cannot cope. So all these thoughts, beliefs that make up our mindset, that make up that which we perceive on the outside, right? That is our density. Secondly, what is our density is everything that keeps us away from realizing what's beyond the border of known. So if you go back to a video I did about a diagram which was partitioned into the known and the unknown, and the diagram shows a circle in which the circle is the realm of consciousness, is the field of consciousness, and we are literally always going around in circles, because that's the beautiful thing about infinity, is that we will never really reach the end, because there is always going to be more and more for us to realize. And the more experiences we have at this level, which is the third dimensional consciousness, the more that we gather, that circle, right? It gets wider and wider. That partition, you start to break borders and you go beyond the borders. Your consciousness starts to expand. Now, how do we experience that expanded state of consciousness? The first step, and which happens during a spiritual awakening, is that your vibrations begin to raise from you thinking from a survival mode. Now you're simply feeling that everything has been taken care of, you're relaxed, your survival instinct is at rest. When the survival instinct is at rest, you can explore, you can play, you can listen, you can meditate. For us to get into a state of meditation, for us to just simply sit and to be in that state where you might have sat and you don't know how long you sat for, and then when you come to, you realize, oh wow, okay, you literally zoned out for that amount of time. Now, in order for you to even get into that zone, we first need to shut down. We shut down these five senses. We shut down and calm ourselves down. We relax ourselves, if that means sitting. And you may just get 3 seconds of that absolute pin drop blank, or 3 minutes, right? And then you can extend it and extend it and extend it until you're able to fully listen, even with the humdrum along around us. When we let go of this density, and our vibration starts to increase. Why? Because we are lighter. So how to raise our vibration is to become lighter, is to release density, release thoughts, beliefs, ideas, any philosophy that we have, any conclusions that we have about anything and everything, and keep yourself absolutely fluid, like water, as if you can just fit into any container and any shape. But, right, you don't have to just, you're not that shape, you don't become that shape. So you're like water that doesn't become the container it's contained in, but you're still water. So you still maintain the same properties. You never ever change. As you get into this state of a lightness of being, then you're able to now start experiencing the unknown inside of us. So the other dimensions, other portals, and you realize, okay, then this is what the Sikh gurus used to say, Wahe Guru, which just basically means wow, awakened teacher, right? So the awakened teacher in us has woken up, and then when that wisdom is trickling, we are, wow, right? Is this what it was? When you wake up from this slumber of thinking that I am all these thoughts, I'm this pot that I have created, right? So when we live through a pot in which we have put all our thoughts, our experiences, our feelings, and we say, okay, this pot is me. This is me, and this is of me, right? Now, when we say that the pot is me too, right? So you identify with the pot, you literally then limit yourself to whatever you're going to experience within that pot. So if we go back to the diagram, a circle, and in the partition of the known, you'll only be bouncing back and forth in that known reality. So in order for you to go beyond that, we've got to wake up to the possibility that there is something beyond the border of what we know. So it's a bit like saying, I live in this house, but there is something beyond this house, right? So what makes us feel safe enough to venture out of our homes is that we already feel quite safe, right? Some of us may not, but when we start to feel safe and we start to relax, everything that happens to us reminds us that we're very relaxed, reminds us that we already are in that state of being. For us to experience the unknown, the state of relaxation is absolutely vital. Our survival instinct must be at rest in order for us to learn how to play with energy, in order for us to simply be. And when we are simply like that, we won't try to fill our lives with all sorts of desires and things that we want to manifest, because you've already reached a point where you feel, oh wow, I'm so full, I have everything. And every day when you wake up in the morning, you're simply so full. You feel so enlivened, enlightened, and completely absorbed in that fullness of life. So you wake up and you feel great. The first thing that you feel is that gratitude. So it isn't that you think, oh, what am I going to do today? No, but you're jumping with excitement, thinking, wow, I wonder what this day is going to bring for me. Full of possibilities, and things literally just fall into your lap. Stay tuned for the second part. Lots of love. Take care.